Okay.
I'm back.
Right. Yeah. Yep. It's just waiting for some more people to come in, and then I'll introduce Brad to you.
Cool. My connection's unstable. That's right.
As long as you're not unstable, Brad, that's the main thing. All right.
I'm just going to get rid.
Okay, welcome everybody to this webinar, which is the introductory webinar to Allhouse. Now, on the website, it tells me that Allhouse is all about marketing your rental properties to maximise tenants' opportunities faster. It allows tenants to create their own profiles, to book viewings, and to complete applications. But most exciting to property managers, it apparently removes the random text messages, calls, and email distractions, which I think we'll all agree can be a pain when you're actually renting a property. So Brad has come along and offered this opportunity for RPMA members. Really appreciate that, Brad. Thank you for coming. And what I'll do is I'll give you
authority.
Give you some authority. That's if I can get the participants list up. All right. And away you should go now.
Let's try share screen. We are away. It should sort of, can we see an image?
Yes, looks good.
Night hour.
Auckland at night.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, David, for the introduction. Thanks everyone for spending your 4 p.m. on Wednesday and listening to me. But we're pretty excited to be here. We launched sort of 31 March into the sort of community of property management. So we haven't been around too long. So I do appreciate these times to just, this is more of a, this is what we do, this is who I am, sort of introductory. So we get to know the faces, especially for me being relatively new to this specific industry. So look, what I want to cover off is right now, just give you a little bit of the agenda on how it's going to flow. I've tried to condense things and make it a lot more, it's not a quick presentation, sort of 15 to 20 minutes, maybe. I don't know, it might go longer, but I do encourage you to write all your questions down as you're thinking of them, and we'll come to those at the end. But the agenda is I'm going to introduce myself and talk a little bit about me and my journey, so you know me just for a little bit behind the Allhouse and why we ended up with Allhouse and how the product actually ended up here, because it wasn't just an idea that's stemmed out of a light bulb moment. And then I'm just going to show you the tenant journey. So what that looks like from a tenant's perspective, where they will see your properties, how we leverage the Facebook opportunity, and then talk a little bit about the roadmap or where we're going as a company. And then finish off with any of your questions. So, and when I talk about the roadmap in terms of where we're going, I'm talking, within the next 6 months kind of thing. So there will be a bit of information there. So I'm originally from Christchurch. This is my dog Cedric. He's almost 15, and if you ever meet me, he will be right beside me. He's my wingman. And my career stems actually in financial services and the property investment world. So I owned a company called New Zealand Home Loans in Christchurch. I set one up in Timaru after the earthquakes. And then I got headhunted to take over Auckland Metro 6 years ago, which I sold everything up, moved up to the big smoke, and took over a $180 million loan book up here, a bunch of team, and set out in the financial services industry in Auckland. Now, about 3 or 4 years ago, I decided to sell that business, a bit like the property management industry. At New Zealand Home Loans got purchased by Kiwi Bank, which then became very rigid, very compliance full, as you guys are sort of experiencing at the moment. And for me, I just wanted to be a bit more free. So I set out my first startup, which is here. This photo is actually not a random posy photo, but this was part of a book, mainly based on Cedric. This photo here, it's all about our story. And this was my first startup here, which says swipe right Tinder for housing. So my first startup, after being in the financial services industry, was based around co-ownership, and up and down the country there was a lot of press, and we did speed dating for first home buyers and all these things, and basically trying to create a product that enabled younger people to get ahead in the property industry. It worked really well, but it wasn't that scalable, because as you can think, one person buying a house could take a long time. Put in 3 different people trying to buy a house, that can take, it's crazy. But what stemmed out of that is me looking at the different types of industries that enabled, these people to live together, and this younger generation, this millennials, and trying to build them products that would enable them to live a better life. And then we embarked on flatmates or housemates, and then looked into this renting, and then rentals, and then property management, and then all of a sudden we started a 12-month journey to what we have today, which is Allhouse. So when we first started out, we didn't actually just start out with a marketplace. We actually started out, I became a property manager. My claim to fame is that I onboarded 13 new managements in a week, and we needed to become the business. There's a team of 5 of us. We needed to become the business to understand the business and understand the pain points. And there are a lot of pain points. I can remember it was one of the most challenging times, really. It was really, really challenging. So on our journey, we were looking to either be able to increase revenue or save you a lot of money. And when we looked at the increased revenue, it was around, more managements and all these sorts of things, which proved quite challenging. And so then when we looked at expenses, we looked at the listing cost, and that listings were, a very large expense in the business comparatively. So then we looked at this and then, okay, what if we, could we create a cheaper or a more effective product? And when we looked at the products, we had these, the expense of the listing, and then we had such limited options, and those options that currently exist weren't like overly, it wasn't like, oh man, the places get rented in, 24 hours, or, it's just, we get all the best, it wasn't like that. It was kind of this necessary evil. So then okay, possibly there's a marketplace opportunity. And this is at about month 9 of doing absolutely everything under the sun. So then once we looked at the marketplace, we then went, okay, well, who are the tenants, and where are the tenants? And we found that, the under 40s were the biggest renters, millennials, and then also the Generation Z coming through. But these generations are generation rent. And the other thing there is they're going to be renting for a lot longer. And currently they don't have a renting, a home of renting really in New Zealand. There's Trade Me, which you can get, bicycles and anything there, and your rental, but there's nothing else really that just sticks, like an Uber or an Airbnb or something like that really sticks and covers off all the facets of renting a home. And then so we went, okay, these are who they are, and then we went, where are they? Like, where are they online? Because in any sort of business, how do you get in front of the people? Because we need to show them your properties, because if we're going to have any chance of existing, we need to be able to get some people to see them. So this is the New Zealand data, and these are just the facts. They're slightly outdated, but they're relatively close. 97% of the population in New Zealand has social media or a smartphone, and 83% are on Facebook, with 75% of the population on Messenger. So this was a pretty easy, we all sort of know these numbers, or we know lots of people are on them, but this was something that we went, okay, so there's a bunch of people here. And more, this is, there's more people on Facebook than there are on Trade Me. Facebook has the most traffic in the country by far. Next to Facebook is stuff.co.nz that has the most traffic. So basically here we ended up and went, okay, so they're all there. Now, how would we potentially utilize this huge tool and all these people to get listings in front of to drive traffic? And cue Facebook Marketplace. So a couple of things. Facebook Marketplace is still in its beta version, which basically means it's a baby. It's not an adult. It's not a fully signed off product. It is still evolving, which is, you know, great for the product perspective, but sometimes it can be tricky for us because we have to adapt to all their changes. Palace also changes without us knowing either, which is also fun. So 3.5 million monthly users. An average user will spend 1 hour and 54 minutes per day on Facebook. And you go, what the heck? I don't do that. Messenger, Facebook groups, Facebook videos, you know, all these sorts of things, WhatsApp, whatever that is, that's also within the Facebook kind of brand. The other really key thing about our product was that whenever you build something new, you then have to get someone to download an app or, use this other site. And that's changing behavior, and changing behavior is very, very difficult. In this case, people are already spending the time there and they've already got the app downloaded. So it's just a matter of us trying to slip in there and get the listings in. So basically, after we worked out that, okay, there's all these people on here, there's this Facebook Marketplace opportunity, there's a brand and opportunity for a really strong marketplace with rooms and with a bi-directional marketplace, so you could have your tenants there that are listing themselves, all these sorts of things. And we took all of that information and then we sat within the rent shop in Auckland here, and they also had the ability to scale throughout the country. I know a lot of the Pukeko guys and lots of people are dotted around the country, but the reality of it is they had full scalability, and we really just wanted to take this information and then observe your daily lives. So what we observed was that, and we tested and tried it, but we observed very quickly that we probably couldn't build you another listing portal because actually you're already just getting things hiffed at you left, right, and center, maintenance and landlords and tenants and all these notifications. So our perfect scenario was, what if we could build this product that would just automatically post your listings for you, which was about 12 months of work with Palace and with TPS to finally build this automated product. And if you don't use Palace right now, you unfortunately probably can't use the product at the moment, but as we move forward, there will be integrations. So whenever a property is ready to be published online within Palace, we don't actually have a direct integration. So there's no button that you need to push. The software is smart enough that it will go in and retrieve that listing. It'll take that listing data, just the advertising data only, and the pictures, post it to Allhouse, and then Allhouse is going to stack them up and post them through into Facebook Marketplace. It's going to do exactly the same for removing the listings as well. Once it goes into Palace and checks, it checks that it's not available, it removes it from Allhouse, and then it's going to sync during the day and delete it completely from Facebook. When your listings are posted out to Facebook, if you've ever used Facebook Marketplace or sold anything or bought anything, you'll know it's very connected to everyone because it's through Messenger, and the tenant response can be immediate, and it can be, varying, and it can be a lot. And so what happened for us is that we were just like, we can't, if we give you more leads, that's great. But the reality of it is we can't create any more work for you. So we are testing different types of messenger product or different types of links that we're injecting into this responder, because basically we want to be able to critique the tenant as best as possible for you without asking any, personal questions. So we're also now injecting the direct link to book a viewing or apply, which is on the Allhouse site, within the copy as well, just to create a few little extra ways of critiquing. So the tenant responder, when someone asks a question, is going to automatically respond to them and also inject a link to where they might book or apply to the property. So this short video here is going to walk you through how it's going to look from a tenant within Facebook. Okay, so this is a tenant who's gone to Marketplace. If you haven't used it before, you go to Facebook, and it's the middle icon within the Facebook app that'll bring you up to Marketplace, and then there'll be a bunch of options that you'll be able to see. So here, firstly, you search the city or suburb that you're in. Down here, you select the radius of where you'd like to look and apply. Then you get all of the things. So you've got beds and blooming properties and whatever you've got. But up here, you've got your categories, which you can select. And then you've got all of the different categories that just scroll down, but we want properties for rent, which is always at the top with cars. Here you get the selection of the properties. And as we scroll down, we're going to see these little flags here, which is our Allhouse icon. So if you watermark your images with your brand, which I'll talk about in a little bit, which could be very fruitful for your business and being seen and branding and in your areas. These little icons are our flag. Yours will also be shared along if the images are watermarked. Here, the tenant's going to click on the listing and they're going to see some photos. They're also going to see some of the copy that's passed through. Just quickly, I'll just note this because these are literally, we change throughout the day, literally days, like we keep iterating and making things better. Facebook is so ingrained in the discrimination and property management law that it has an AI bot that reads every published property. And we were having a lot of issues with publishing listings that had no and suitable for XXX, all these sorts of things, so it wouldn't post them. So we built a piece of software that just automatically integrates and installs a very basic copy. This copy is just being updated today, so it's have a few lines of information, bedrooms, bathroom, car parks, amenities, things like that, that will, if the property copy doesn't get allowed through, or in some cases we might just turn it off, so all the listings get copied with this copy that the software generates, just so you know, we can't, because we can't change human behavior just yet, so we just inject it with the right code. Here, what's going to happen is if they like the listing, they're going to select the message, and here they can type whatever they want. They can tell you about their life story, if they're allowed their 16 cats, whatever that may be, but the message is going to be directed to their messenger, and from here the software is going to respond. Now at the moment we have multiple types of ways. So basically what can happen is it might not be an instant response depending on the time of day. The syncs go at different times. The reality of it is it will be instant. Right now it varies. This is a screen recording. This was an instant scenario. Sometimes it can be a couple of hours. That's the link that gets injected, which is then also followed with a note, which sometimes properties may have applications being processed due to these remain online. To ensure, just click the link above. So just making sure that they know that, you know, because originally we were saying it's available and you can check it out now and all this sorts of things, but we wanted to cover everyone's butt. So when someone clicks the link, again, this is going to be put in within the copy of the listing as well, so they can scroll through and just go straight to the booking from there. Here, it's going to bring up the exact listing, and that listing is going to have all the property data here, all the copy. So we don't discriminate, but Facebook's a pretty big, scary, smart beast. So all the copy goes to Allhouse, and Allhouse is the mothership, really. Our software is unique that we've pushed it through to Facebook, generated some inquiry, and that means we can have a real chance of being a good competitor. And in here, you're going to see all the pictures. There's an unlimited picture response, so you can put 100 there if you want. And then from here, a tenant's going to have the ability to view or apply. So here you've got book a viewing or apply to their property. Now, I know that a lot of the Pukeko crew might have a smaller book, so they may not use Viewing Tracker. In this case, simply when they request a viewing time, it will send an email with the tenant's details. So first of all, they're going to select their move-in date. And once they select their move-in date, they're then able to go to an application, which will take them straight to the TPS portal. Or if they want to book a viewing, if you do use Viewing Tracker, your viewing times will be set up in here. So if it's 12:15 on Wednesday or 6 p.m. on Thursday, that will show. And then we're also about to integrate with IRE also. You'll note here, before someone can do any of the next step, they have to do this. So this is the natural, yep, let's go button, but they have to sign in. Now, I mentioned before about if you've ever used Facebook, it could be quite varying. There could be all sorts of people asking you a billion different things. The software's responded to it, and now we're creating hurdles. So we want to create some effort. So that if someone's turned up to they've booked a viewing, they've at least had to, fill out their details or, put in a property code or something. So we're really testing these ways of the tenant inquiry, because we don't want just random bookings and stuff like that. We really want to be able to put people through a little bit of effort. We know your 10 out of 10 problem is people not turning up to viewing, so we're trying to work on a solution. At the end of the day, we're here to drive traffic to start with, but we're testing as much as we can to get the best results. So once someone's signed up, boom, create the account, then the booking or the application goes off. Now, moving forward, once I'm in the system, I can scroll through any of these properties and book a viewing and apply directly. One click, boom, done. So it's really smart. So basically that journey there is the end-to-end journey. So the tenant has seen the property on Facebook. The property's been, data's been pulled from Palace. It's been posted out to Allhouse and to Facebook, and you haven't had to do anything. And that's been the key part, right? So the whole process is taken care of, and effectively it's worked like magic, because you haven't done anything, and it's created some more applications or more viewings. So we had to create a manager's portal. So this is the actual website. This is the mothership. So it's all scroll based, bit like Netflix or Neon, if you use those. That's what we've mirrored this off. And in here, you've got the manager's portal to the top right. And this is what you get with your subscription. And here you select your date and the date you want to see the activity from. And you're going to see the Allhouse Marketplace publisher, the Facebooks, like what's been published through, how many viewings have been booked, on which days they've been booked. The full listings are all going to be available in here. So all the active listings are going to be available. You can search via street. And then down here, when you select a listing, you're going to end up in the full listing of what's online. Now, just quickly, a little bit of where to or where we're going. This will be the source of truth for all of your listings. Okay, so we know that with some of the regulation coming out, we're going to have the rent, the date that it's been listed. We're also going to have the amount of viewings that have been booked on the property and applications that have been sent as well. And then we're going to have a download option, a one-pager, which will basically have, this is the performance of the property, maybe a couple of graphs. There's also a boost recommendation. So if the listings, if the owner wants to boost the listing or, get it rented quickly, there'll be a recommendation there to put spend behind that listing. But it means it's a little tool that you guys can use for your owners and be the source of truth for all your listings. You'll be able to view your application form in here. And this little button here is a new little tool with the on hold button. So if you've ever sent out your applications to a tenant, you're pretty happy with the tenant and you're not really keen on fielding any more viewings or texts or emails about the property, you can actually just switch it on hold. So when you switch that property on hold, I'll go out of this here, and then now you see that this listing is now not available or not visible. So it's basically a free relist function, and it gives you the ability to turn things on and off, and it's free of charge. Here you'll see the filters. So you've got your listings under Facebook review, new and Allhouse, on hold, and inactive. So this in Facebook review, maybe, like I said before, some of the copy's been discriminatory, it's been pushed back. Don't worry, we've taken care of that solution, and it's just going to write the copy and then send it through. So you don't need to worry about that. The inactive ones will show all your listings. You'll also be able to search via property managers as well. But I'm under the impression that you probably don't have multiple property managers. Here is the onboarding station. So this is what I would do. So if you're keen to test out, we're offering a free trial. If you're keen to try us out, basically I put your name, your business name in here. I send an email to Palace, and they provide a email API, and then everything starts to crank from there. The preferred pricing option is if there's discounts or deals to be done. In here, if you use TPS, this is where we put your 4-digit TPS code, and that integrates directly into the application form. You can enable and disable that. So if you don't want them going straight to application before they view, you can turn off the applications. If you don't use a viewing tracker or IRE, you can turn that off. And as I said, you get an email, and you can turn your Palace on and off. So you have full control over the system. And then the subscription details, because we are subscription, just in here. And basically that takes you through to a simple Netflix style credit card, business credit card, and you throw it on there and away you go. I mentioned a little bit about Boost Your Business, and this is kind of where we're going. This is a place where we're operating manually now, but we're going to be moving to an automated product. And what I mean by that is within your dashboard that I just showed you those listings. If you do have listings that you want to that need to get rented really quickly, and you're ringing up the owner and saying, look, I think we should spend $20 on this listing and try and get the thing done, or the owner's telling you, look, do whatever it needs to be done. You can then select that within the dashboard, and that turns that listing into a full-on advertisement. If you've ever seen it through social media or Facebook, the listing is going to turn up in your news feed, your Facebook search, the marketplace product detail. If you keep scrolling through marketplace, you see all these sponsored ads, and also Instagram. So part of this, really important, is that we're driving maximum traffic to these. It could be thousands of impressions, and they're going to then get directed back to either book a viewing or do an application. So there's no extra work for you guys, and it's simply just really getting that stuff out there and driving traffic to them. The other really cool thing about it is that with your branding attached to it, Pukeko or anything, the ability here is that landlords are also on social media. So all of a sudden, some of our property managers are using it in a way that if I'm in Papakura and I've got the Ray White in Papakura, I want to be then boosting my listings, or the listings that I want more of. Maybe it's the 4-bedding new ones out in Pocono or whatever. And maybe I want to be seen as the person who has all of those listings. Really simply, they can put spend, which is your own business marketing spend, to potentially get more inquiry around those listings and be seen as the market leader. Basically for today, the RPMA crew it's a free trial. I just invite anyone who is interested just to flick your name in the comments, or let David know, and we can have a chat. And like I said, the onboarding process is an email to Palace. They send me an API key and then a couple of codes, and then the thing's rocking and rolling. So the product would be an unlimited product for you guys. So just fill your boots, basically. There's no setup costs, there's no cancellation costs, and there is no fixed term contract. So, if you use it for a few months or whatnot, then no problem. There is a discounted opportunity here. This is the normal product. For for the RPMA on top of the trial would be $89 plus GST a month. And again, that could be iterated depending on, you know, what months are busy for you guys. I know that depending on your business size, again, we're just keen to cater. We're new to the industry, so we're keen to hear your feedback. We're keen to hear your thoughts. And if there's anything more we can do, we'll definitely help. Questions?
Yes, don't forget to use the questions and answers at the bottom. Be good to get your questions.
Yeah, you can put,
or otherwise you've got the slide up there with your personal phone, Brad, which is great.
yeah. I'll put it in the Liz has got a question.
Great.
What do I do if she's raised her hand? Do I just push raised her hand? Or do you control that, David?
No. Oh, sorry, she raised her hand by mistake or something, has she? No?
Yeah, no, she has. She said that pricing is a lot for if you're a small business or company with a couple of adverts per month. I totally understand that. And there will, yes, like I had a conversation with David at the start of this. There is I probably can't, I'll just speak out of school anyway, it's me. We are considering potentially a pay-as-you-go kind of model. It could be a free model, so you could integrate with us for free, and then maybe that you wanted to, on certain listings, you would just maybe post for $10 or something like that and turn that property into a bit of a listing. So totally open for all of that stuff, and open for feedback. Keen to jump on a call, or just feel free to book some time in with me. I'd love to hear this conversation more. Property tree, yep, we can integrate with. Unfortunately, they don't have a publishing portal. So the key thing here is automation, and Property Tree do not have the publishing option. And to answer your next question, they will never have it. So I've been working really closely with the MRI guys, and Property Tree will remain only Australia, and they will be probably moving people as best as they can to Palace. Frank's got a good one. Can we list it for sale? The software, yep, can do that. But quick short answer is no, not right now. The reason being is I have a really my first passion is to change, is to create the home for renting, especially in this younger generation. And also property managers never get anything cool and sexy. And the real estate, they're kind of like the poor cousin to the real estate industry. So for once they've got something a little bit more, a little bit cool. The real estate industry does want it, but we'll see. We'll see if the PMs don't pick it up, then we'll jump over the fence. If you don't use Viewing Tracker, how do the tenant basically they will just click the same thing as book a viewing, and it will just turn up in your inbox as a rental, as a profile. So it'll have their name and email, etc. Richard Horn, do the rental adverts only appear on Facebook? Yep. So, no, so Allhouse and Facebook. And we're also doing a digital strategy. I didn't really talk about that a lot here. I'll just jump a couple of slides. So this is actually we're advertising for tenants as well. So we're advertising for the best tenants. This is Adriana. Again, this is background. Whether you want to know this or not, I'll just tell you. We select key leaders within the community. This is, and we call them Allhouse champions, but like someone if they were sponsored by Red Bull or something like that. She's a sustainable champion. We have sustainability, wellness, and entertainment within the community. And she's holding a tree planting day on this Saturday, actually, in Te Aratu. So we'll all be going along, and we invite tenants along, and things like that. So the properties are advertised on Allhouse and on Facebook. But this is a real key part of how we build our brand to be the absolute leading. Hang on, I'll just jump back into there. Any more questions? Can't say.
Well, that's a good flurry of questions. At least we know that they didn't fall asleep during your presentation, Brad, which is encouraging.
No, really good questions, actually. Thanks, team.
Yeah.
That's really good. But I'm really available, right? So I'm very busy, but I'm really here for this, and it's really important to. Part of doing this stuff now is the reason, because the reason is that this is the only opportunity that I have to get in front of you guys. We're iterating our product literally daily and moving and changing, and we know what we need to do, but we need to build this for you. So we're totally here to oh, hang on, I'll just see. So it works the same for Inspect Real Estate. So Inspect Real Estate, I don't know what you mean there. Are you talking about that it will post through to Facebook and Allhouse? Just the anonymous attendee. Reiterate that question for me. I'd like to answer. If it's about so someone said, so it works the same as Inspect Real Estate. I don't know what that means, but possibly. Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, so posting through to Facebook. So they don't. Facebook and Facebook Marketplace is very different things. So posting through to your Facebook page only ever attracts the people who like your page, basically. So Marketplace is open to everybody. So quite different, but no, yeah, it is different. That no one has the software that we have. It's custom built for us. What promotion will be done to inform tenants that Allhouse is the place to go find it? Oh, did you see? I did talk a little bit about that strategy, Richard. I would say jump on a call. I'll chat to you, Richard. But the strategy is really based around the people. So the community, building the brand within the people, and providing a very I would say probably cool is the right word. The reality of it is there is no brand that holds this renting and this flatmates. We own all the flatmate groups around the country. Well, not all of them, but some, tens and thousands of members. And basically we built these sites to understand behaviors. And so we know what to execute there, but we will be building it from the ground in the community. We're also going to be using your properties. So every month we hand select our favorite pictures on the platform, and then we turn them into digital marketing. So our marketing strategy goes out to all the social media platforms with short videos and quirky content, and then we then basically direct more traffic to the site, basically. But the key thing is those properties that are selected are then able to be rented online, because I think that's really cool. And at the end of the day, no one's ever actually marketed for tenants, not on a platform like this. Trade Me doesn't, and everyone's talking about getting more people to their open homes. We're going to be talking about tenants. Thanks for that, Susanna, I think. Yeah, I'll ask David for a bit of a reach out, and and we can, yeah, like I said, we can chat this week and have a demo or whatnot. I'm happy to accommodate wherever I can.
Yeah, and we've also got Rachel, I think, that would like to have a call, so we can get, yeah.
I just saw that. Yeah, she's asked about IRE. Yeah, so literally just came out of a conversation with Peter Nibbs, who's the CTO IRE in Australia, and Alana, who's the head of the tech team, and then my tech guy, and they're all on board, which is really cool. I've been hassling Peter for ages to get their viewing API.
Well, excellent. Well, thanks, Brad.
Very
I think
good.
everyone's had a chance to some good questions, and so we'll just get you those
Very
names. And thank you very much for the time to come on board and to present Allhouse to us. So,
Thanks a lot.
yeah, so that'll be great. I'll just